coming at you with second daily drive. Man, heading into work this morning. Should be a pretty standard day, I'll call it. I don't see any reason why I'd be at work for any extended period of time today, but boy oh boy, since I'm making these videos to hopefully stay on track with quitting nicotine, I gotta say that this morning I am really craving a nice breeze this morning. Just want to take one big rip and really inhale it in and then get that buzz going, you know, but I can't, so we're gonna stop. One reason I'm motivated to quit, or one reason I'm trying to use this motivation to quit, I guess I'll say, is I need to have one of my teeth fixed. I need an implant, and I guess the implant process and everything, if you're a nicotine user, can fail for whatever reasons that nicotine does to your body or whatever. It doesn't coincide with getting an implant in your mouth, so yeah, I gotta get a dental implant. I guess that's another thing to add onto the list for why we're quitting. But boy, do I really want to just rip a breeze this morning. I want to rip my car through this median here, hit a 360 on the highway, or a 180 on the highway, and go back to that carryout and be like, give me a breeze. Give me a can of chew. Give me a cigarette. I need a cigarette. That's how it feels in my brain. But we're on day 5 or 6, I guess, depending on how you look at it. 6 days ago, I decided I'd quit. It's been 5 full days with absolutely nothing. On that first day, I was like halfway through the day when I decided I'd quit, so I try not to count it. Because in my head, it just doesn't count yet. It's crazy, though. Not that long ago, I was at a wedding. And when we were at the wedding, another person, myself, my wife, my buddy Colin, we were all talking about wanting to quit nicotine. My wife never has had that problem, but we were all talking about wanting to quit and what it's like. And my buddy's girlfriend said, I want to quit every time I use it. And like, that's just the epitome of nicotine addiction. Like, I want to quit every time I use it. I still want to use it, but I want to quit every time I use it. It's terrible. And it's terrible for your mental health, right? So at least right now, when I wake up drenched in sweat, or when I wake up and realize I probably should change my clothes and my sheets on a daily basis right now that I'm sleeping in, it's I don't know, it's hard. At the same time, man, I'm tired today. At the same time, though, I mean, things are only as hard or easy as you make them, and the more I think about it, give credence to it, whatever, the worse it is. The less I think about it, the easier it gets. But it's hard to be in the car and not think about it. So this morning I was like, well, I'm gonna start making another video, because at least if I sit here and make a video talking to my phone instead of going to the gas station or wherever and buying nicotine, then another day is another win. All you can do is stack those wins. But boy, does it suck. It's not like anybody out there is like, I want to feel like I can't say no. Man, gotta drink this pre-workout. I'm not somebody who looks like they work out, right? But I pre-workout in the morning. How I got away from drinking Monsters and all those other terrible energy drinks. I used to probably drink several Mountain Dews in a day back when I was in the Toledo squad. And I'd say when I became an ops manager at FedEx and I was working in Toledo, I would work those hours of, like, you know, maybe midnight, 1 a.m., 2 a.m. to 10 a.m. or 11 a.m. And working those hours still trying to have somewhat of a relationship and wife, or with my wife, and all the other stuff, being a parent, whatever, I would drink a lot of energy drinks. So I'd say when I was at FedEx, I really picked up on like Bang and Monster. Because when I was at Mosquito Squad, I didn't really drink that many Monsters or anything like that. I had a lot of Mountain Dew Kickstarts, but probably all relative. I had my first kidney stone back then when I was in Toledo, so I won't say that the kidney stone was like boom, snap your fingers and now I'm healthier, but it was definitely eye-opening to the fact that I needed to drink more water and stop drinking this really unhealthy Mountain Dew, Monster Energy, and whatever else combination that I was drinking every day without drinking any water. Because kidney stones sucked. That hurt. It felt like my insides were. I thought I was having my appendix burst or something. I was like, I probably got to go to the hospital. I mean, I was just pouring sweat. Like, it started out, I thought maybe like, oh, my stomach kind of hurts. Like, yeah, I got to go to the bathroom. And while I was in the bathroom, I was like, I don't have to go to the bathroom, but I wonder if my appendix is exploding inside of me right now. But as far as I know, I've only ever had the one kidney stone. Haven't had any issues since then. Drink a lot more water. I'm sure that pre-workout isn't entirely better for me than a Monster, but it's better. So what else? You know, going in today is one of those things where, so I got no idea until I get there if it's going to be a lot of paperwork or a small amount of paperwork. But either way, like the amount of times that I am at work and I almost just feel like I'm obligated to be here, there's like a guilt that keeps me there, when in reality I could just go home and do most of the stuff that I do from home and have most of the conversations I have with people over the phone anyways, like just from my home or in my car rather than in the office. But I can't decide if I would actually just be a wildly unproductive employee if I moved my work life more home than it already is. So I don't know. I don't know. One thing I do know though, it's gonna be a good day because we said so. So I'm guessing I'm gonna get there at about 7:15, and then hopefully I'm out of here by like 2 o'clock today. Not really trying to put in a 40-hour day or anything crazy. I don't have enough work to do. I mean, there's never-ending amount of work to do, right? Like, I could literally always find some more to do. Some way to further help out, some way to further go above and beyond, or whatever people want to say. But just because there's always something to do doesn't mean you should always be doing something. I'm a big fan of go above and beyond if you want to move up. Go above and beyond if you want to, if you feel good doing that, if you get fulfillment from that, whatever. If you get appreciated at work and like your efforts are appreciated and noticed and valued, properly compensated, then heck yeah, go above and beyond every chance you get. But if you've gone above and beyond, let's say, several times in a 6-month span, and at no point is your extra effort appreciated, valued, compensated, any of those things, that's when you find out what the baseline of expectations is for your role, and you crush those baseline expectations, and you leave it at that. You don't go above and beyond, you don't do anything too fancy, you're not reinventing anything, you're just doing what you need to do to be successful within your role, and then do that until you're actually appreciated, because there's no point. It's just my opinion too, and I'm not trying to be cynical or bitter. Like, I'm not pessimistic. I know that going above and beyond several times is what got me to where I'm at. So, like, I'm all about going above and beyond. But if you hit a point in your career where the above and beyond effort isn't really, I don't know, respected, there's no warrant for it, not getting anything out of it. So you can just kind of figure out what you want to do. Maybe do something, I don't want to say outside of work, but maybe outside of your role, right? Like something else you want to learn about. Maybe you expand your education. Maybe you use some sort of tuition reimbursement or whatever your company has, and you take the time to learn some sort of new skill or become more knowledgeable in a certain area or expertise. Because sure, you could have been going extra hard on whatever your role was, but sometimes that above and beyond is not what the company needs from you. They need you to grow and evolve and maybe learn a new skill, or maybe they need you to be willing to jump into a different realm within the company, a different area of operation, whatever you want to call it. So, I don't know. Right now I'm trying to figure out if I hate this person in front of me that's driving or if I just want to kill them. I don't know what their problem is. I don't have a damn clue what their problem is. But they want to drive like a total renob, so I guess if that's what they want to do, that's what they're going to do. I don't know. I can't do anything about it. I mean, the dude's going like 88. I'm going 88 right now, and he was trying to like stick with me in the right lane, and it's like, alright dude, like if you're mad that I've been on your butt in the left lane for the last 20 minutes and then you got over, and then when I try to go around you, you're going to be like, like, I don't know, man. I'm not even paying attention to you. Like I care about any of these idiots and their cars around me. No. Wouldn't care if that car bumped into that semi back there and got sent in the ditch. I'd be like, wow, that was sweet. See ya. I ain't worried about it. That is one interesting thing I've noticed in my almost 4 years of managing people now, is how many people are so concerned with the view of others around them, what others around them think of them, of their work or what they're doing. Or the amount of times I've had someone at work be like, so-and-so over there, they keep looking at me. Like, what? Okay, like, well, let me go talk to him. I'm like, hey, so X person over here thinks that you're like staring at them or something? Is there like something we need to address or anything? Is there something going on? And they're like, oh, no. I was literally only staring that way, Mason, because that is where that new clock is that you guys installed, and he just happens to have a workspace underneath that clock, and he probably thinks that I'm staring at him, but I'm actually just trying to see what time it is, and I don't have good vision, and I don't bring my glasses, so I kind of got to squint and stare over there. Like, wow. Okay, I'll take that and pass it on. Oh man, I hate these people that drive like 26-foot box trucks. Most of the time they're probably like amateur idiots such as myself, right? Like I've driven one of those all of, I don't know, a couple 100 miles total in my life. So like not an expert at driving one. I'm not somebody who's driven one 20,000 miles. But if I was driving one right now, I'm not trying to be the guy on the highway that's going 66 and passing the semi that's going 65, but here we are. Big old dumb Penske driver's got to get in the left lane so he can try to go around the semi, and then he's got to get back. It's just, come on, man. Like, it takes you that long to pass them. Maybe don't screw the rest of us over that are just on our way to work, just like you're probably on your way to whatever your job is, or maybe you're moving today if you're in a Penske, I don't know, but either way, you don't have to F everyone else over. If it takes you like a mile and a half, as it feels like, to pass this guy, then the rest of us are just sitting here going 71 when we could be going 80. But then again, I've met enough drivers, and I've heard enough stories that I guess at the end of the day I shouldn't be surprised by anything that anyone does on the road. Especially if they're driving a relatively large truck or they're in a rig pulling trailers. You should not be shocked. Oh, it's a decent little sunrise this morning. above the horizon. Looks like it's going to be bright in the next 30 minutes, though, that's for sure. That is not my favorite. I do not want it to be really bright out, because then it's going to be like, because it's that way right now. But what do people want to know about, or how can I help people? That's another thing I thought about, right? If I'm going to start making videos, how can I help people? So, I don't know. I'm really good at resumes, cover letters, job interviews, all that kind of stuff. If anybody has any questions, anybody ever wants to, I don't know, maybe I should put my own resume out there, my own cover letter examples, etc. I will say, I don't ever actually think that I've gotten a 100% consistency with what is supposed to go in a cover letter. Like, I've asked other people to see their cover letters that are like my peers. I have seen enough cover letters from the people that I interview and have hired over the last few years. I have spent enough time on like Google, Reddit, wherever, looking at cover letters, examples, whatever, you know, Harvard or whoever's got their free crap out there. But like, I wrote one cover letter that got me probably my favorite job so far, and that cover letter was not anything like what like the internet would tell me to write. I just wrote about who I was as a person and what I wanted them to know about me and why I thought I at least deserved, at bare minimum, the opportunity to interview. Like, I'm not asking for anything else. I'm not going to bring up money. I don't care about how much you think you're going to pay me, or like how much I think I deserve to make in this role, or any of that other crap that people put in their cover letters. I wasn't going to like lay out my work experience or like my stories from work in a cover letter, or even one or two, or like what I do at work, because I wanted that to be on my resume and for them to be what they call me and ask me about. So my cover letter was kind of like, you know, I was raised here in XYZ type of situation, loving family, etc. I pursued multiple different career opportunities down these avenues, whether it was college coaching or potentially maybe being a small business owner one day, etc., or in management here at FedEx. I was like, I've done X, Y, and Z. Qualities that I think I possess that my references and people that you could call and ask about me would probably support. And then I listed those qualities, and I put in there, I'm just somebody who's looking for an opportunity to come and do something exceptional. And that was enough. Next thing I knew, Tracy called me and was like, hey, you want a job interview? Blah, blah, blah. Set up the interview, do the interview, answer all the typical questions that they're going to ask in an interview. And then, but yeah, just the thought process behind my cover letters at times, because, you know, I'll say that my cover letter to get into FedEx was as standard of one as I could find on the internet. But I had applied for those, like that first middle management role, I had applied for several of them and I wasn't getting it. And I was like, well, I think my cover letter needs to be what somehow separates me from all the other people that are applying in these facilities, because like other people that are applying, because I was applying across the country, like other people that are applying in that facility are people in-house that this person who's hiring like knows personally. Even if you dislike them, if you like them like 70%, like somebody that you like and work with and know at, we'll say you like 70% of the time, and the other 30% of the time they could drive you absolutely insane. But if 70% of the time you like them and you already know a lot about them and you already know, like the enemy that you know is oftentimes better than the enemy that you don't. At least that's how a lot of people will look at it. So I was trying to find a way to stand out in my cover letter and make sure that I really separated myself with whatever I believe to be my unique characteristics, what's unique about me, and then just hoping that that person would read all of one page about Mason and then be like, let's give this guy an interview. Because I don't need anything beyond the interview. Like, I've had one bad interview in the last 4 or 5 years, and I sat down in the chair that day, and as soon as I sat down with my boss across from me and my boss's boss across from me in HR, like it hit me like a wall of bricks that I did not want that job. Like that specific role, like those 3 people sitting there what I had just gone through that day within that operation, and then like interviewing for the next level up at this operation, I'm like, I don't want this job. Like, it's a crystal clear moment. I don't know how else to describe it. I can remember sitting down in that chair, like how sweaty my clothes were, and like how my belt was riding on my hip because I had been doing a lot of manual labor that morning. And like I remember just sitting there and like sitting down and like, hey, X, Y, and Z, and they all say hi or whatever, and it just hit me like a wall of bricks. Like, I don't want this job. So that was a really bad job interview that I had, because I was trying to like not have the worst job interview of my life, but I didn't want to like really sell myself to them and then them offer me the job and me have to turn it down, because so much is political in a large corporation or whatever, especially like the one I'm in, that I didn't want any of these people to have a bad taste in their mouth. I didn't want any of these people to think that like if they offered it to me and I turned it down, like that they would be like, well, screw him. I didn't want to get like blacklisted or what. I also didn't know, like this was only like my second promotion or whatever. Like I didn't know how these people would react. Like I knew how to crush the interview. I knew the answers and I knew the questions. But anyways, after that interview, it took them like over a week to decide. They brought me in, told me how, like, you know, they're going to end up going with the other person, but, like, it was one of the toughest decisions they'd had to make, or whatever BS they tell you, right? But I actually could feel how hard it was for my boss at that time to, like, not pick me. And, like, it was a relief to be able to look at him and be like, I want you to know that, like, I don't want this spot, so it's okay. You don't have to, like, feel bad. Like, I know you like me as a human being, and, like, after my interview, there's probably a part of you that was like, you know, I've worked with this guy for a year, and his interview was okay, and, like, I know that he can crush the role, but, like, this other guy had a little bit better of an interview. I'm like, go with that guy. It's fine. I will support that dude for the remainder of the time that I work here. But, like, I'm on my way out of here. I want to go try and be a part of something else. So that's the only bad interview I've had. I absolutely love job interviews for the most part. I love the questions at the end when you get to ask the HR person and whoever else. Maybe there's a union rep there if you're interviewing a different type of company like that has unions, etc. I don't know. I've never been in that situation. But I love asking those people questions. I love asking, like, money wasn't an object. Like, no matter what job you pick tomorrow, you were going to get paid more than enough to pay all your bills and everything. Is this still the job that you would do tomorrow? Or would you, like, quit tomorrow to go do something else? And they, like, are puzzled by why I want to know the answer to that. But, like, right now, if Erica calls me and it's like, we won $300 million in the lottery, I'm not quitting my job in the first 2 weeks. Like, I'm probably going to end up leaving this. This isn't what I want to do always and forever and always, whatever. But I do like what I do, and I do really like my coworkers. And while I tried to figure out what I'm going to do as somebody who's now financially free, I would keep my job and maintain my role and at least do the minimum to be an effective employee to support those people that work in my department. But I mean, I'm not doing anything above and beyond if I was one of those people that won the Mega Millions, right? So, but I don't know. It's just interesting stuff. So, if anybody out there wants to know anything, I'm more than happy to talk about whatever people want to hear about. If anybody out there wants to ask me any questions, feel free. If anybody out there needs help with a resume or a cover letter, or wants me to go over some examples of how I answer questions in a job interview or how I format things on a resume, more than happy to do so. I am nearing the end of my morning drive, though. I didn't really start recording this morning as quickly as I probably could have or should have. I was kind of just raging in my car this morning. And then after that, I like to listen to a little bit of music before I actually get to the facility and everything. So I cut this off here with about 25 minutes of the daily drive. Appreciate anybody who's here. As always, drink some water. If you're addicted to nicotine, you can quit with me. You don't have to, but I support you either way. I know it's a total bitch and it's hard. So anybody out there who's dealing with anything else, best of luck to you today. You can either wake up and have the attitude of I'm going to win today, or you can have the attitude of the day's going to beat me down. It's all up to you. It's all in your brain. I'm not going to act like it's sunshine and roses. Like I just spent $2,800 on my car like 2 weeks ago, and now my check engine light's on again, and that doesn't make Mason happy, but hey, like I can still dominate my day to day. I can't control that, but I can control my outlook on the day, and my belief that I'm just going to absolutely dominate whatever's put in front of me today, and that's who I am and what I do. So daily drive number 2 is down. Appreciate you, each and every one of you. I'm sure it's like 3 people, but I don't give a. See ya.